Money is a very delicate issue for numerous people. This issue can be so contentious that instead of managing money, people would likely avoid the issue and would rather focus on earning and spending it. In short, there are two types of people: those who boost their wealth and those who lose it. And in this video, I will share with you 10 money mistakes that you must avoid at all costs. Welcome to Savvy, where we have lots of practical wisdom to share. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button below, and while you're at it, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more advice here at Savvy. It is a fact that keeping money is way harder than making it, and unfortunately, it is not rare to see people come into wealth through inheritance or in other ways, and lose it in a short amount of time. A great example of someone who earned a huge amount of money and lost it all over time is Mike Tyson. Despite earning over $300 million in his prime, in 2003, Mike declared bankruptcy and admitted he was over $20 million in debt. Needless to say that these money mistakes happen more frequently than you think, and these mistakes will cripple your finances no matter how much money you make. Mistake number 1. Spending money on alcohol and drugs may have been fun and harmless in college, but the truth is, constant use can have a negative effect on your health and wallet. If you calculate how much money is spent on vices in a week or year, you'll find that these vices are hindering the ability to reach financial freedom. For example, if cigarettes cost approximately $10 and many smokers consume a pack a day, this amounts to $70 a week, and in a year amounts to over $3,600. The same amount of money could use to cover the property taxes on your home or even spent on a 2-week vacation. But sadly, many of these bad habits take a hefty toll on your health and wealth in the long term. So, it is best of you to avoid wasting money on this as much as you can. Number 2. Spending more than you make. This can be very tempting to do as a young adult. It can be enticing to blow your money right out of college when you're making a consistent income for the first time in your life. Buying that latest car, getting that new house, and flying first class. They all sound appealing to do. But the problem with that is that you end up living paycheck to paycheck, and your income can barely keep up with the costs. This issue can be likened to lifestyle inflation, where an increase in income will cause you to increase your living expenses. An increase in paycheck shouldn't be taken as a sign to improve your lifestyle. However, the majority of people feel that they should reward themselves once they get paid. Instead, this cash inflow should be prioritized into prolonging your wealth through investments and acquiring assets. Probably the biggest reason that people spend beyond their means is to impress others. In the words of Dave Ramsey, we buy things we don't need. With money, we don't have to impress people we don't like. Many of us are guilty of this, but once we learn to pass on gratification and disregard impressing people, then you will be able to grow financially. Social media is also another reason for overspending. People spend huge sums of money trying to look rich without actually being rich. Be wise, create a budget, and track your expenses to ensure that you refrain from spending more than you make. Number 3. Lack of investing. Investing wisely can be tricky, and most people make investments based on tips from friends or a strong belief that the prices of popular stocks will keep going up. One type of asset people are into these days is real estate. Most people think that once they own an investment property, then they are set financially. They think that the rent payments per month will just start rolling in and their income will increase as well. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. Sometimes tenants miss payments, appliances break, or the property values depreciates. Like all the types of investments, there is always a risk. For the wise investor, the key is to make assets produce a stream of income. Make sure to do the correct research on whatever it is that you would like to invest in, and don't just take advice from friends. Number 4. Following get-rich-quick schemes. Get-rich-quick schemes are one of the surefire ways to lose your money. As the saying goes, quick money brings quick problems, and money schemes are sure to get you into trouble. Get-rich-quick schemes include things like Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and make money overnight offers, and are all set up to make the originator rich by stealing all your hard-earned money. If you're looking for opportunities that promise high returns with small risk, then tread carefully. Think of it like this. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. When it comes to making money, always think things through. Number 5. Not having an emergency fund. Let's face it, accidents happen way too often, and most of the time, you need cash to resolve the problem. For instance, your car could suddenly stop working. You might lose your job. Your washing machine could break. Unfortunately, everything in this world costs money, which is why not having an emergency fund set up is a crucial money mistake. Sadly, based on a 2019 Federal Reserve study, found that almost 40% of Americans wouldn't be able to cover a $350 emergency with savings or a credit card charge that they could pay off in an instant. About 27% of those surveyed would need to loan the money or sell up their belongings to come up with the $350. Additional 12% wouldn't be able to pay for it at all. Fortunately, you don't have to be one of these people. Saving these funds can actually be pretty easy. All you have to do is set up a 10% automatic deduction from your salary with your employer, and they will send you a portion of your income into an emergency savings account. But how will you know when you have saved enough? Most financial advisors recommend you allocate 6 months' worth of living expenses. But if you want to be more careful, 1 year's worth is even better. Number 6. Having just one source of income. For most people, having a single source of income is a way of life, and it usually comes in the form of a salary. Unfortunately, today's jobs are not as secure as they used to be, and in fact, in 2018 alone, US businesses laid off more than 21 million people. Meaning that if your job is the only way that generates income and it suddenly comes to a halt, then what will you do? The answer is to become diversified. So, you should start learning and developing new ways to earn income to give you financial security. Speaking of other sources of income, are any of you thinking about starting a business or a side hustle? Comment down below. We would love to hear from you. And while you're there, consider subscribing to our channel. Now, back to the video. Number 7. Heavily relying on credit cards. For many people, credit cards are convenient for making purchases. But for others, they can potentially be a one-way ticket to debt. Although they are needed at times, relying on them can cripple you financially. The use of credit cards promotes impulsive buying. It gives you the mentality that everything can be bought with just a simple swipe. A 2001 MIT study says that shoppers spend 100% more using credit cards to pay instead of cash. So, if you do find yourself in this habit of paying with credit, form a habit of paying with cash, as you are paying physically with money and seeing your wallet to be depleted. This will make you feel the financial impact of each purchase. Number 8. Being scared to take financial risks. As the saying goes, no risk, no reward. In order to generate money when you invest in a financial opportunity, you need to accept the risks it offers. However, the risk you should take should be calculated. For example, putting your money in an index fund is higher risk than placing it in a savings account, but your money will never grow on the 0.05% interest rate that the saving accounts yield. Instead, investing the money at an index fund which mirrors the movements of the whole stock market has proven to have a return of 7% annually, which is a calculated risk that many believe is worth taking. Number 9. Saving rather than investing. When you keep money in the bank, it loses its value due to inflation. However, when money is invested wisely, it grows. It's that easy. In mistake number 8, I mentioned that being scared to take risks is a mistake. The people who are scared to take risks are the only ones who usually save all their money and leave it to depreciate over time. The amount of money that is acceptable to be left in your savings account should only be your living expenses and your emergency fund. Number 10. Having only one bank account. Having a single bank account is risky based on these reasons. 1. Having a single bank account will make the management of your money really challenging. By working on one bank account, you keep all of your emergency and savings in one spot. Then, if you spend and use up this cash, you may risk having no emergency cash or other savings. This is why you should have at least 3 bank accounts, one for emergency fund in case of accidents, another one for your bills, and a final account which is used for leisure purposes. And if you want to kick it up a notch, you can have an untouchable account. This account can be used as a savings account that paycheck deductions are directed to every month, so you can let your savings automate themselves and make your money grow. Well, that is enough practical wisdom for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below. We will be posting 4 to 5 videos per week, so click the subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of our new videos weekly. Thanks everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao!